So you want to peel the bitter gourd to begin with, just with a regular peeler. Slit down the middle. Going to stick your thumb in, and we're going to dig out all of the seeds. It has very chunky seeds. I'm going to take those out. And it doesn't have to be an exact science, obviously. Recipe. Once again, in this one, we're going to stuff it with TVP, which is textured vegetable protein. And it gives you a lovely chew, and it is the vegan take on Karelas stuffed with keema. So we'll rub this with salt inside and out, and that helps release the bitter compounds. You just want to nicely rub it with salt. And don't worry if a few seeds still remain in the gourd. You can actually eat the seeds. They are edible, but they can be tough and unpleasant, which is why they get removed. Okay, to begin the keema or the TVP, we're going to turn on the pan to medium. We're going to let it heat up a little, and we will grab some olive oil. I'm going to add about 3 to 4 tablespoons of olive oil, because usually the keema or the minced meat comes with its own fat. In this case, we have to add the fat to give it a similar texture and mouthfeel. So, and it also adds flavor. Fat does equal flavor. If you're watching your intake of oil, you can of course reduce it. It will not affect. Hot enough, you're gonna go ahead and add in about 4 cloves of garlic, about 2 tablespoons of diced ginger. That's about a thumb size. Go ahead and let it cook a little. You want to get that raw flavor out. And once you start to smell the garlic and ginger, we're going to add in our onions. So this is 1 diced yellow onion. I cut it on the same cutting board as a beet, so we have pink onion. And of course, we want to add the salt at this time so that the onions release all of their moisture and start to brown nicely. So we're going to add the salt at this time, about 2.5 teaspoons. Let this all happen. Good. You can add the turmeric. That's 1 teaspoon of turmeric. So if you add the other spices right now, the onions will stop browning, and they won't get that nice roasty, toasty flavor that we're going for. We want slight caramelization. The salt and the turmeric don't seem to affect that, but the other spices do. So I always wait a little bit to get them nice and caramelized before I add in all the other spices. You can see everything starting to break down a little bit. That's what we want. When you see that the onions have started to turn translucent and they're starting to cook, that's when we can add the other spices in. I'm going to add in about 1 teaspoon of cumin powder, 2 teaspoons of coriander powder, and 2 teaspoons of red chilies. That is optional. If you do not eat chilies, just add paprika, that's fine. So I, of course, like chili powder, and that's how I do it. Now, we want to add in our spices that are not ground. I do freshly grind my cumin and coriander, just so they don't taste like dirt. We're gonna add in 2 bay leaves. We're gonna add in this much cinnamon. It's about a finger's worth of cinnamon. And we're gonna go ahead and add in 3 or 4 cloves, and I'm gonna crush these. I'm gonna crush the black cardamom, 2 black cardamom, and 3 green cardamoms before I add them in. We want the seeds out and doing their magic. Let this all cook up. You'll start to smell the fragrance. We'll add in about a teaspoon worth of black pepper. Then we're going to add in about a cup and a half of marinated TVP. So I do have a video already up, and I will link it to this one so that you can see what's in that marinade. It's essentially olive oil, salt, garlic powder, and a little bit of red chili powder. If you marinate your TVP, it will last in your refrigerator for at least a week, if not more. So you want to get the rawness out of all of this and let it really get that nice, fragrant aroma that happens when you know things are going well. It smells perfect. So when you can smell that the rawness is gone and you can start to smell the fragrance of the spices, then we're going to add in about 2 tablespoons of tomato paste. If you don't eat tomatoes, you can also use mango powder, dried mango powder, that works. You just want a little bit of acid. So lemon juice will do the trick. Dried mango powder will do the trick. A little bit of tamarind paste will do the trick. I like tomatoes because they add the color, but it is completely up to you. You just want to add a little bit of acid. And tomatoes bring their own slightly umami flavor, which I love. Meanwhile, I will wash and dry these guys so that they're ready to stuff whenever this cools down. So let's begin. Alrighty, so this has cooled quite a bit. So this has cooled a little bit. I'm actually going to make sure these are really dry because then it looks a little nicer. Gets that crustiness rather than steaminess. So if you need to use a paper towel or a kitchen towel, go ahead and do that. Most of these are dry. It was just that one that was, yes. Okay, perfect. Alrighty, we're gonna stuff these nicely. The tricky part. Ideally, I would have cooking thread, but since I don't, I'm gonna go ahead and use my sewing thread, since I'm really bad at sewing anyway. So you just want to take one end, hold it on, and wrap it a couple of times so that when you're cooking, it doesn't open up. And the end, a little bit, few more wraps around it. So again, just hold it and on one end, wrap it around, and then right at the end, do a couple more rolls so it doesn't open up, and cut. I'm not really tying anything so that it doesn't, you know, the person eating doesn't have to battle their food. Oh. Okay. All right, around and cut. And since it's heated up, we're gonna add a tablespoon or two of olive oil again. I'm gonna put in a few fennel seeds. Fennel goes really well with the bitter gourd. So I'm just gonna line these up. You want this on medium heat, not very high, so that it can cook through. There we go. I'm gonna cover this. Let it happen. So the whole process of cooking should take about 15 to 20 minutes. And you want to keep turning so that all sides get nice golden brown, and just flipping it over gently. You don't want to spill all the ingredients. The thread does help to hold it in, of course, but just be careful. And until it's tender enough so that when you stab it, there's no resistance, you want to keep covering it and cooking it. So just be patient. And slow, medium heat will do the trick. And when you can stab it and it cuts easily through, you know it's done. So we served it with dal and naan. You can eat it with rice. You can eat it just as a snack. It's very high protein because of the soy keema, and it tastes delicious. So it's not the most attractive vegetable, but trust me, it is so worth the effort, and it is so delicious. I really hope you enjoy this. Please like and subscribe so that I can keep doing this for you, and have a wonderful day. I served it with raw onions, as you can see. Enjoy.